It's now less than 2 weeks until we head away to Cape York, and I'm in peak packing anxiety mode. I've now stripped everything out of all the drawers in the back of the car. Usually this one has tools and recovery equipment. The top one's got food and the bottom one's got sort of kitchen gear. And I'm trying to catalogue everything. Pretty much I've got everything pulled out of every drawer. All the gear, it's all there. All the food stuff is over here, kitchen stuff over there. And a ton of camping gear sitting in the toy hauler canopy. And then I've bought a heap of new stuff as well. I got this whole Jetboil Genesis base camp cooking system. I'll show you that. Got some sticky foam tape to try and stop some rattles in the rear drawers. Helinox chairs. King's 200 watt solar blanket. Got a Kaon Rear Shelf to go up in the back. Goes up in this roof section up here to store some stuff up there. Get rid of that crappy light setup and bungee cord that was holding fishing rods. And I've got 2 sets of max tracks with some mounting pins, which I need to somehow mount up on the roof rails. So yeah, let's get to unboxing some of this stuff. I'll show you it as I install it, and we'll throw it in the car. And then I'll start trying to organise and get a bit of a camping system going on. And then hopefully at the end of today, we are pretty much packed, except for a couple of things I need to buy. Still need to get some other recovery gear. I think that's about it. Let's get going. If you've been watching for a little while, you know I'm a sucker for CNC machine stuff. Originally did my trade as a fitter machinist back in the day. So yeah, I needed something to mount all my MIDI fuses and distribution box and stuff like that on top of my battery. So I jumped on the Kaon website and I bought 2 of these, which looks like this, aluminium I think it is. Yeah, aluminium, CNC, folded up. It's a battery hold down. The battery hold down points there, pulls your battery down, and then you got all these available slots to mount all sorts of different stuff neatly on top. So I got one for on top of the cranking battery, one for on top of the auxiliary battery, and that's all I was going to buy. And I think these are like 59 bucks. It was pretty tame. What was it? Yeah, $59. That's all I was buying, was 2 of these. And because I made the mistake of searching on their website buy vehicle specific stuff, they got like one of those garage sections where you can see everything applicable to your model. This is what got me for the first bait, one of these little rear door shims. It's just some little laser cut shims that takes that sag out of the, you know, the big wide rear door on the Prado and lifts it up slightly and stops it bumping on the lock. They sort of sag over the ears. And that was only $12, so that wasn't the problem. But then it opened up the floodgates fully for this thing. This is a standalone rear roof shelf. It is really, really well made. It looks very nice. But yeah, 315 bucks. Bit hard to show on camera, but I think it's all like CNC folded. It's got all these laser cut like mesh mole panel sort of things in it. Australian made, bottle opener in each corner. It's got these wings that bolt into the rear grab handles where the 3rd row seats usually are, which I haven't used for years, and it's got this other brace piece. So yeah, hopefully it helps with the storage issues a lot so I can get everything in there. But let's throw it in. I think first step is to rip them grab handles out, get ready to throw that in. Righto, handles out. Apparently there's M5 and M6 bolts. The M5s go along the back and the M6 mounts those ones into the side. You then get your original grab handles and you just bolt them through these mounting brackets back up into the roof there. Let's chuck them in. The shelf then has 2 different height adjustments using those 2 sets of holes, and 3 positions forward and backwards. So you sit it up there, slot the bolt in and see what works for your car. And that's the finished product. It probably sits at about 8 inches from the door edge there. I'll probably use it to store like towels and soft stuff and you know, maybe some camera gear or something. I don't know yet. I'll soon figure that out. You can also get these other side panels that bolt onto here and come down the side as well, like those mole panels or whatever they call them. Don't know if I'll get them yet because I sort of put stuff down in here like the air compressor and all that sort of stuff, so I sort of need that free at the moment. And I've got a heap of charger gear that goes down in this side near that power panel in the back there. Next up, I'll throw these door shim spaces in. When the car gets older, these doors sag and you can see it hits hits on the top part of that lock because of the sag. These shims are made to go into that joint there and shim the bottom of the door out so it pushes the door up. Let's throw them in. There's two shims that look to be the same thickness. I'm not sure if I'm going to need one or two. Probably going to say two. I'd probably recommend using a pry bar and something so it's not going to scratch the paint, and leaving the door outwards. It's a little bit hard to lift. Righto, the moment of truth. Did it fix it? Oh yeah. You can probably see that in there. It's no longer hitting anymore. I've also got this 30 centimeter Terralume LED light, goes orange and black, and it's dimmable. And I want to put it across the top of the back door there. So I open the back door, slide that stainless table out that I put the cooker on, and then this should shine straight down on top of all that. I'm pretty sure it only draws 1 amp at max power, so I think I'm just going to bridge it into the rear light in the boot, but just got a switch on it that I can turn it on and off, hopefully. It comes with a little waterproof plug which has got your positive and negative tail on it. I'm not going to use that, I'm just going to cut the other plug off so I don't have to drill a hole through this trim that's so big. The kit comes with some self-tapping screws and a drill driver bit. I don't even think I'll use that. I reckon that sticky PE foam will hold it on there. There's really no weight in it, so I think it should be right. Righto, after a bit of playing around, the light bar is in. Actually looks pretty neat considering how rough it is. There's many things that I'm not good at. Wiring in general has got to be top 3 of the things that I'm absolutely crap at doing. Anyway, light's stuck on there. Wire goes in through this, down through this big grommet here that I've got to pop back in, back up through this trim, and then piggybacks into the rear interior light. I wired it into the constant power one so I can just turn it on at any time. I checked the specs, it only draws 0.5 amp at full power. The black button is the on-off switch. You turn that on, that's the lowest setting. You hold the button down, goes up to max brightness, which is 700 lumens. And then you can hit the orange button, which gives you amber and white. Hopefully keep some of the bugs away. Hopefully that gives enough light spread. So when I've got the stainless steel table on there with the gas cooker here, it's enough to cook at night time. So that's one other little wiring project completed, and I still suck at it. It does look better than it was. That's these little Kaon battery mount brackets installed. Mounted that MIDI fuse and this other distribution block, neatened up some of the wiring. I'm not really the biggest fan of this King's winch isolator that you just screw together to make the positive connection. I want to get one of those switch sort of ones, just got to find somewhere to mount it in, so maybe I'll get that done before I go. That'll probably work okay still, I don't know. And I've got the other one fitted to the auxiliary battery, MIDI fuse mounted up. That's a little J-Car Bluetooth battery monitor. It does most of the features that you need to monitor a battery, just goes to an app on your phone. I'm hoping it's good enough just to keep an eye on the discharge rate and the charge rate of the auxiliary battery. So just while I'm driving, if we're driving for the day, just so I can have a look and see if it's actually fully charged before we pull up. Because I'm not sure if I want to use the solar blanket. I've got the 200 watt solar blanket, but a 160 watt panel on the roof. I reckon the 160 would probably be enough. I'll just take the 200 for backup just in case we're pulled up somewhere for a couple of days, not driving so much. The next job is to lay it on my camping gear on the ground so I can make sense of it. I'm slowly trimming out the bits that are surplus or stuff that I'm replacing with better gear, like the winch snatch block. Like this shitty heavy metal one probably works fine, but I'm going to get one of those new CNC machined aluminium winch rings. Some of these King's Camp Light kits I'm just going to replace with rechargeable LED strip lights and torches. Saves me having to carry around those big bags full of lights. And also I just got back from 4Drive Super Centre. Got another big haul of gear. For the last probably 2 years I've been trying to change some of the gear over as it breaks and go to more premium sort of gear, but it is much more expensive. Like I just put the Red Arc DC charger in instead of the King's one. But yeah, 4 cheap little bits and pieces. You really can't go past the 4-drive Supercenter gear. Like a new air inflator, I think it was like 25 or 30 bucks. And all these little canvas bags. That's one made for the Thumper compressor, which I've still got. Had it for years, goes great. So that canvas bag should take care of the hoses, air gun, compressor, and tire inflator. With that, I was going to make up a toolkit out of old tools in the shed, but it was just neater just to buy one of these King's Bush Mechanic kits. I think it was like 160 bucks if you bought it with this work light thing as well. Magnetic work light. It's probably not the best quality, but it'll do for a while. They did have this King's Plus stuff though. This is a more premium looking lithium rechargeable torch. Comes in a decent belt pouch with a clip, almost like lead lancer sort of style. It seems to have a little bit of weight to it. It's got like a fairly solid aluminium body to it, clip, USB charging point, magnet on the back to stick it to things. And it's got this bright LED torch in the end, and then it's got like a diffused little bar light on the side. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll see how that goes long term. Keen to see how it goes after a bit of use, but it does feel a lot better quality than those other stick light ones. And then I've still got a few of these clear top canvas bags and a little collapsible sink. I'm not sure I want to take that. It's pretty thin, pretty small. Maybe I will, but I want to use these to try and organize the gear to go back in the drawers. And then I also needed some new sleeping bags. So I got these new King's Universal. They're like a half canvas, half flannelette looking sleeping bag. Some specs down there. They've got zippers all the way around the sides. You can actually join multiple ones together. So if you're using a rooftop tent with your missus or something, or a double swag, you can join 2 together and make like a big cocoon sort of thing. I had a look at one in the shop unpacked and it actually, yeah, looked pretty good. I was concerned on how big the bag was going to be, but packed up in this solid canvasy sort of bag with the big straps on it, it's actually pretty small. Right, I'm going to spin the car back around so I'm not in the sun, and then start putting some bits and pieces back in the car. It's been about a week since I shot that last clip. I ended up for the second time this year, got the flu, and this one come with a decent chest infection. So I've been on antibiotics for a couple of days, trying to get that sorted before I head away, which is tomorrow. So I didn't get to film as much as I wanted to film and show as much as the gear as what I bought and all that sort of stuff. We'll show that later in upcoming videos. But yeah, we're just gonna send it, leave it tomorrow. Stay tuned for it. Cape York trip, hopefully should be fantastic. See you in the next video. Why am I pointing? Very pointy fingers. I don't know what's going on with this. See ya. We are now less than 2 weeks. No. We are now. It's now fuck's sake. I hate this fucking thing. So yeah, let's get to unboxing, installing. I'll try and run you through. So yeah, let's unbox some of this stuff. I'll show you through some of it as I go for an initial review. No. And because I made the mistake of searching on their website, really search. I think first step is to rip these door handles out of the back. No. I think first step is to grab that light. No. I think first step is to grab. No. I think first step is to rip them grab rails out. No. I've also got this. No. Hopefully it's enough light when I've got the stainless steel table clipped on that drawer with the cooker. Hopefully it's enough light for cooking. Hopefully that's enough light. Hopefully that, fuck's sake.